Girls, I'm here with my brother-in-law, Kenny. Of course, we've been pretty much friends from high school, so it's kind of weird that we had a...
25 years probably now.
Pretty much. Anyways, what we're going to do now today is we're going to make steak sandwiches. We're going to use Delmonico cut steaks. We got 4 already set up. What we're going to use today, we're going to use special shit. Yeah, that's really weird saying, but it's from a Big Cock Ranch. But what we're going to do here is most of the time what I like to do, since this steak is really tender anyways, usually with a thicker steak, I'll cut it across a little bit, give it a couple gashes in it, let the actual seasoning get in there and soak it up. But here we don't really have to do that. With most steaks, we'll just get both sides, get it in there. And yes, dogs are screaming at each other. Pat that stuff in there really good. We'll go ahead and we'll go ahead. It doesn't matter where you put it on the treasure, does it?
Not really. On the hotter side tends to be over here. I usually start them off over here and then move them this way. If you go off most instructions on a pellet grill, they're going to tell you to run it at about 400 degrees. That's way too much. It's going to cook them way too fast. So I got this one set for about 300.
Alright, sounds like it's sizzling on here. Go ahead and close that. And we'll get back after we're actually done with this. It takes, what, about 15 minutes or so?
Probably about 15 minutes. We're going to do them about 6-7 minutes aside. We're going to check them for temp and see where we get to.
Alright. We'll get back on that. Alright, right now what we're doing is we're taking it in from the hot side to the cooler side. Or from the cooler side to the hot side. I messed that up, guys. Don't worry about that. And it'll basically cook a little bit faster now. But basically what we're doing now is just scoring the meat to make sure we get that nice little crisp part on it. Okay, right now what we're doing is we're taking the temperature of the steaks. The other 3 have actually cooked a little bit faster because they're smaller. Kenny's got his super thermometer.
We're taking that high-speed thermometer and we're looking for an internal temp of about 130 to 135 before we pull them off, because we're looking for that medium rare to medium so that we keep a nice juice in that steak before we carve it up for a sandwich.
Right now what we're going to do here is, as we're going to get the steaks off, we're going to go ahead and put these up on here.
Yeah,
Put them right here.
yeah, we can put them on this end.
That's going to be mine because it's broke. I like broken things. Go ahead and put these up on here. There we go. We're going to take these steaks off and we're going to cut them after we wait a little bit.
That one right there is good.
Awesome. Go ahead and get them all on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was holding on the utensils.
We can carve this one up and we'll give it a look.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
That's
Still a little bit juicy on there.
Why don't you give him a close-up of that one, Dave?
Okay.
So your Delmonico is a good fatty piece of meat. Well, right there we ran that one to an internal temp of about 130. So you can see we've got some good juice coming out of there. It got just a little bit overdone if we were looking for that cool red center that's more on the medium rare side. But that's going to slice up nice and make a good sandwich.
Get here. There we go. You're cutting with the grain or against the grain?
This one I'm kind of cutting with the grain a little bit. I'm kind of walking my way around because we've got some fattier portions on it Delmonico. Like I said, Delmonico is kind of similar to a ribeye in the makeup of it. It's not lean like a New York strip. It's got a lot of fat content in it, which keeps a lot of those juices in there. Now the nice thing about a Delmonico is, at least down here in this neck of the woods, whenever you go to the meat market, a ribeye will be running, $13.99, $14.99 a pound. Your Delmonicos are going to run $7.99 to $8.99 a pound. So if you're on a budget, it's a good quality cut of meat for not a lot of money. And like I said, you can slice it up for a sandwich. They make good steaks. Really kind of a versatile piece of meat there if you like something with a high fat content to it. The only thing that's different between this Delmonico and a ribeye is the Delmonico is a much smaller steak, so you're not going to get a big bone-in cowboy style steak like you would with a ribeye. But now, if you watch your grocery store ads, a lot of times they throw the Delmonicos in the meat bin with the ribeye, but if you look and see when they've got arm roast on sale, when they cut arm roast, that's the same piece of meat they cut a Delmonico out of. So a lot of times when they advertise arm roast on sale in the meat market, go in there and you'll find a lot of Delmonicos in there too. And they're great pieces of meat to keep around for grilling. So from here we'll go ahead and slice these up. Our bread ought to be about toasted, and we'll start putting us together some sandwiches.
Awesome. All right, right now what I'm doing is I'm putting a little bit of the meat. I'm using tongs so I don't look too much like a savage. What we got here, we're just covering up the bread. The reason why we toast it is because with all this juice going on it right here, you're gonna have a lot of juice coming off of the meat. You want the bread to soak it up a little bit, but you don't want it to saturate and crumble and everything. So that's the reason why we do it that way. Don't worry, folks. This table's clean. We cleaned it really good. And what we're using now is Gouda cheese. I think this is actually smoked Gouda. Got this, and we're cutting up an onion. Now, on something like this, a lot of people will actually put the meat into the, put the whole sandwich back into the oven to basically melt the cheese. We're savages, so we don't do that.
That and the other thing to worry about is once you cut that meat up, you're kind of running the clock on when everything's going to be ready and how much juice you still got in the meat. You cut that up, put it on a sandwich, throw it back in there in the cooker, you're going to run out of moisture real quick because that greater surface area from the chopped up meat is just going to evaporate off inside that cooker, and you're going to wind up with a dry sandwich.
Yummy.
Looks good, don't it, Holly?
Delmonico steak sandwich.
Can I try?
How's that taste?
Just right.
All right. Well, that was a really good steak. And right now we're gonna enjoy the nice, what is that, whiskey?
Well, no meal's complete without dessert. For dessert today, we've got 12-year-old Knob Creek bourbon.
All right. To a good meal and good life, good friendship. Cheers, everybody. Hope you enjoy the show. Come again next time.